Hi, I'm Sean Moran with ACC GIS, and our topic today is raster proximity analysis. This topic kicks off Intermediate GIS Competency 3, where we learn how to create, analyze, and present raster GIS data. We'll use the same general types of analysis to organize our discussion: measure, classify, query, proximity, overlay, connectivity, and custom. But raster analysis requires an entirely different set of geoprocessing tools. We'll learn about many of these raster tools over the next few weeks, and we'll use them to perform a suitability and corridor analysis. But first, let's have a little fun with GIS as we transition from vector to raster data. A really neat thing about ArcGIS Pro are the many beautiful and fun custom styles you can apply to your maps. For example, cartographers John Nelson and Warren Davison developed this cool Lego map style to rasterize your vector maps with Lego bricks. This process uses tessellation, the same approach we used to generate and assimilate hex bins earlier in the semester. So sit back and enjoy this demonstration as we Legofy our world. But first, a little music to tap into our raster soul. Oh yeah, that's right, man. There's a little Rastafarian in all of us. By the end of this topic, you should be able to explain how to measure cell and raster geometry, differentiate between global, local, zonal, and focal raster statistics, explain how to classify and reclassify raster values, compare and contrast deterministic and geostatistical interpolation, and compare and contrast simple and kernel density analysis. And last, you'll use raster proximity tools to create resampled, generalized, interpolated, and density rasters. Now, the focus of intermediate GIS is to use GIS to analyze geospatial data. And in the previous competency, we utilized the base geographic unit of features, clusters, and bins to perform different types of analyses, including measure, classify, query, proximity, overlay, connectivity, and custom analysis using ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Pro. In this competency, we're going to switch to raster data in the base geographic unit of cells, where we're going to perform similar types of analysis, including measure, classify, query, proximity, overlay, connectivity, and custom analysis in ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Pro. The raster analysis we're going to focus on for this topic include measure, classify, query, and proximity, where we'll measure geometry, calculate geometry, or calculate statistics for cells. We'll also classify or group cells by unique values or range. We'll query raster data by retrieving information associated with a cell or cells. And last, we'll use proximity analysis to analyze the relationship between nearby cells. Let's start with measuring raster cells, where we calculate or measure geometric properties. Now, calculating geometry on a raster data set is actually really straightforward. It's all based on the cell. The cell length is defined as the X width or the Y height. And for example, it could be 30 meters. The cell size is the X width times the Y height. So building on the previous example, 30 meters times 30 meters is 900 square meters. So a 30-meter raster data set, each cell is 900 square meters or 30 by 30. Now, cell area is simply cell size times cell count. So the number of cells times the size of the cell. Now, if you look at the image in the lower right corner of the slide, I've selected open water for all of Travis County in a land cover data set. And so if the cell size is 30 by 30, then I can calculate the area of open water by multiplying 30 by 30 by the cell count, 99,050, and that equals 89,145,000 square meters, or 89.1 square kilometers of open water. Another way to measure geometry is on the imagery ribbon in the mensuration tools. And mensuration is just a fancy way to say measure. And the tools are very similar to the measure tools, which you can also use. But the mensuration tools include location, distance, area, and centroid. And you can see in the example again on the lower right-hand corner where I'm utilizing the mensuration distance tool and the mensuration results pane to measure a distance in meters just south of the river there.